Hi, Matt. Welcome back to Hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
We're going to call it Hi, Haley with Matt. We've already coined it.
Okay.
Well, since this week's Halloween, I think we have to ask a Halloween question. What was your best costume when you were younger?
Um, I think I'm gonna go with one of my college costumes, which was
Okay.
Han Solo.
Classic, classic. I love how much our costumes change as we get older. You kind of evolve, you know?
Hmm.
You go through your phases. I have a twin brother, so every year we had to do matching costumes, which there's only so many matching characters you could go as with your brother. So
So, what was your favorite one?
we were Barney and Bebop. You know, the two little purple, I guess they were dinosaurs, but it was so cute.
Oh yeah, from
So
PBS.
sweet. PBS classic. Okay, so for today, we are going to walk through reset password functionality and Power Pages, which will be pretty
All right.
neat. So I'm going to give it over to you.
So what we'll do here is we'll just pick up where we left off last time when we were creating our Alumni Central website. So if everyone saw the previous video, Haley went and created the register for event. Um, and some additional functionality around that. But we're going to look at some of the registration sign-in functions at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this sign-in button on the top right. And this is going to bring us to kind of our default web page here, where it's going to allow us to either sign in if we already have an account, register for an account, or redeem an invitation that someone may have sent us. But what we'll also see with what comes out of the box is there's a button here that says forgot your password. And this will allow you to have the system send an automated email to a user to reset their password. Now, one of the things about Power Pages is when you initially set it up, the button doesn't actually do anything. So there's some setups that we need to take care of to make this actually kind of work. Now, there are two different ways to do this. One would be kind of using the legacy Power Apps functionality um, to handle that. But the kind of easier way, in my opinion, and the more control that you have over it is using a Power Automate flow to actually handle sending this email. So that's what we're going to do today. So we'll kind of start out by just going to a Power Apps Solutions here. We're going to go to our Alumni Central one that we saw last time. And right now we'll see that we only have really two things in there, just two tables, and the rest is all kind of managed in our Power Pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click a new Cloudflow. And what we'll do is we'll click New, and then we're going to click Automation. We want Cloudflow, and then we're going to want the automated Cloudflow. So this is going to happen when a specific action is taken on one of our Dataverse tables. We'll just give it a second here to load. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for my Dataverse triggers, and we're going to select when an action is performed. So I'm also going to give it a name here. We'll just say reset password. And we'll go ahead and click create here. So something to note about the Power Pages accounts is that they're all based on contacts. If you're not using the Azure Active Directory as the authentication method. So what we'll do here then is we're going to go ahead and pick some options here for catalog. We're going to pick all. Category, we're going to pick all. But the table name here is going to be the contact table that we were kind of discussing earlier. Again, all accounts are actually contacts in the Dataverse. So then after we've done that, we'll now see that we have a couple different options here for the out-of-the-box actions that come with Power Pages. Some of the things we'll see here is we've got send password to reset. We've got send email confirmation. So if you want to just make sure the user has a valid email address, we can do that here. But we're just going to select the send password reset to contact. And then now what it's going to do is whenever a record, so whenever we try to sign in and do our forget password function, this flow will be triggered based on that forget password button.
And going back to it, just in case anyone's wondering, Matt, it is the case that when you create, like sign up for an account, that account is going to generate a contact record. So if you
Correct.
want to know where they're all housed, go look at contact table.
Yep. And then
Okay,
again, that contact table is an out of the box table that you don't have to create yourself. But you
perfect.
can extend it, add new fields, change forms, things like that if you need to. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add a new operation. And this is just something that I like to do for testing, is just create kind of a compose function that we actually get the output from the initial action here. So first thing we're going to look for is an action output here. And I'm looking for one called callback URL. So that's the top one here. So this is going to be the actual link that we'll send to the actual contact record, so they can actually click on something, have it allow them to reset their password. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get some of the contact information. So if we want to get like the name of the contact, something like that, so it's a little bit more personalized, we can do that. So I'm going to go to our Dataverse actions again. And this time we're going to select get a row by ID. And then this time we're going to go to our contact table. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to select the user ID here in our row ID. So then what I'm doing, I'm just going to rename this so it'll make more sense if I come back to this later. So we're just going to say get contact details. And then what we'll need to do is we'll click new, and then I'm going to do send an email. Just click send an email from Outlook, and now it's going to authenticate with my login here. And then it'll allow me to actually build out an actual email. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what email address we need to get this sent to. So I'm going to click add dynamic content. And then now we'll see that we have an email address here from our get contact details. Now the action inputs email and this email are going to be the same because it's from the same record. So we can select either of them, but I'm just going to select the first one here. And then we can give it a subject. So we'll just say Alumni Central password reset. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build out the actual body of the email from what we want it to say. So I've already got one built here. Just to spare everyone building HTML, but we'll just paste that in here. And then basically what we can do now, sorry, I need to put this in code format. All right, so we're going to say hello, and then we'll find the first name. So I can just search for first name in my dynamic content. And then what we can then do is put in whatever text we want it to do. And again, this is just standard HTML, so you can have it generate whatever you need to for your specific use case. And then what I have here is a link for the reset password. So we'll just grab the callback URL again. And that will actually put that into a link that just says reset link. So now what we can also do is we can put in things like a send ad. So if you have a do not reply email address or a password reset email address, something like that, you can do that here. Otherwise, it's going to run it off of whoever is the owner of the flow. So in my case here, I'm just going to do it from our Ascendex page called, or our Ascendex email called hello@ascendexconsulting.com. And then we can go ahead and click save. I'll just give it a second or two to save here. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll go back to our Power Pages site, our sign in here. And what we can do is we'll click forgot password. And then what it's going to do, it's going to ask me for the email address of the account that we're registered for. So in this case here, we have hello@ascendexconsulting.com as our account. And then we get this message here saying, please check your email for to reset your password. So eventually we should get an email in here then.
Now, Matt, those last two forms, so the one where you click forgot your password and then it's saying thanks, like we got your request, are those both out of the box? Microsoft provides them with Power Pages.
Yes. So there's nothing we need to do to set any of those up. They all kind of come through as soon as we set up a new page.
Okay, perfect.
All right. And then so now it took a couple seconds to run here, but we got our email from Ascendex Consulting, that hello email address. And then we get a message here saying, hello, Matt. That's the name I have on my contact. And then it'll allow us to reset that here. So if I click on that, it's going to bring me to a new page on my Power Pages site. So now we'll see we're on the reset password site or page on our site, and it'll allow us to put in a new password. So that's really all there is to it. So yeah, pretty easy to set up, but it's just a little deceiving that the button's there and it doesn't do anything. So if you don't set up any of these pieces that we kind of talked through today, when you click that reset password button, nothing will happen. So if you ever do a sign-in page for your users with the local accounts here, just make sure that you have a flow set up or you set it up through one of the other methods that we have for resetting passwords.
And just to clarify, when you're making the Power Automate flow and you're generating the email, do you need to put in HTML or can you just type into that white box?
You can just type into the white box. I just like doing the HTML because it's a little easier to format. But you could certainly make it whatever way you would usually make an email address or an email in Power Automate.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate this walkthrough.